Well, it's another day, and we're going to start back in on this. It's hotter today, and the humidity's up a little bit, so what a perfect day to wrestle with melted interior on a burned truck. Where'd you go? There you are. Die! 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 One less. Two less. You know the other fun part about working on a truck that's been sitting for 4 years? Every 18 inches all the way down the truck there's another wasp nest I gotta kill. Took out the speaker and the B pillar, found them little guys, and it was a pretty good sized nest because there's more in there. Not to mention the fact that 3 or 4 I shot out of the air and smashed on the ground. Try to save the wiring harness, but then I realized all the colors were melted away, so I guess I gotta throw it out. It's the middle of the dashboard. AC might need a charge. Might need a steering column. Hey, along those lines, if anybody has a really nice seat or a really nice steering column with a trans tunnel cover for a 6500 1990 vintage, let me know, because those parts are kind of hard to find. Okay, I'm done for the day. We got to take this project in little bites, otherwise I'm going to lose my mind real fast. You got to take all the bolts out, but you can't get to the bolts because the dashboard and the rest of the interior is melted down around them. So you got to pry stuff loose and break stuff and hit it with a bigger hammer, and then you can finally get to the hardware that's seized and burned into the sheet metal. But I got most of the interior out. The only thing left is the controls for the PTO and dump bed. So here's where we are today. It doesn't look near as bad. All I got is rusty sheet metal. and even the floor is in pretty good shape. The ceiling, the ceiling needs a little bit of help. I'm not going to worry about straightening metal in here. It's not horrible, but I do have a dent up top because a few people asked, and I got that little ripple there, and that's it. I mean, I still have paint on the roof, so up here didn't get very hot. It was just a firewall basically. So I am going to finish stripping this out. I'm going to sand it. I'm going to hit it with some epoxy primer, and then I'm going to shoot black. And then once I do that, I can start putting glass in and putting it back together. But I'm building this like a house. First you got to get it weatherproof, then you can work on the inside. So the priority is to paint the inside of the cab, get the glass back in it, and then I can close it up, roll the windows up, and keep it weather tight. And then whatever I put in there doesn't get ruined. Underneath the hood is a different story. Once I get the cab built and put back together, then I can back it up and pull the motor and trans out, because the motor and trans are both wasted. Sat out in the weather for a number of years, so transmission's full of water, engine's full of water, not to mention whatever the fire department threw down in there. So motor and trans is completely trashed in this truck. So hopefully I can get the motor and trans out of the parts truck to run, because it looks to be pretty intact. So maybe the parts truck is going to donate more than we originally planned, but we're moving right along, just real slow, because I can't take this in big bites. It's just too much for me. And it's amazing what fire and water and rust will do. This thing couldn't turn, and I wasn't exactly sure why, but there's the U-joint, here's the shaft. You'll notice that the steering column is missing, and I can't move the shaft. To call that U-joint seized is quite an understatement. Anyway, that's all for today. As always, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Tell your friends. If they have the parts I mentioned earlier, please let me know, because I need them. The parts truck didn't come with the steering column or the trans tunnel cover. The seat that came in the parts truck is not wonderful. If I have to use it, I will, but I would rather something that's not all beat to death. But let us know what you think, and let us know how we're doing, and we'll see everybody down the road.